So thank you everyone for joining us today. The topic of today's webinar is Design Value Calculator and Enhancing Data Decision-Making with Game Data and System Dynamics. We have a special guest from Czech Republic, Eva Zbirakova. And I just want to take a brief moment to invite everyone to join us in Boston this year for the International System Dynamics Conference. This year's theme is incorporating AI into dynamic modeling, and submissions opened yesterday. So you can submit your work. Even if it's not related to AI, you can still submit your SD work for the conference. We are meeting in Boston in August from 3rd to 7th of August. So excited to see you guys there. And also I want to take a moment to thank all the society sponsors. It's only through their help that we're being able to expand the system dynamics field globally. Today we have a 45 minutes presentation with Eva and then 15 minutes Q&A as usual. I hope you get your time to ask your questions. And I'm gladly and happy to introduce you to Eva Zbirakova. She's an educational innovator and game designer specializing in systems thinking, design processes, and dynamic modeling. With a doctorate from Tomas Bata University in the Czech Republic, Eva teaches project management through creative methods like escape games and mentor design students. She also connects research and industry to drive innovation, blending art, design, and systems thinking. So welcome, Eva. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And that's all from my side. So you can share your screen and start the presentation.
Okay, I start to share it. Is it okay? Share?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Is it okay?
Yes, we can see your presentation and I can hear you very well.
Okay, thank you. So I start. I want to start with a sentence from an article by Donella Meadows. We can't control systems or figure them out, but we can dance with them. In this webinar, I will gradually describe a board game's pillars. The game was created to explain the systemic behavior of a company. However, the value proposition of the webinar has an even stronger meaning. Please give me a problem and scenarios for its solution. If we can explain a design problem with a board game in this webinar today, we can explain other problems with another game. I think that's a good way to think about what's going on and how to solve it. I think it will work and I want to try it. I want to present not only my system dynamics model, I want to introduce you to my way of thinking, my creativity, my approach to gaining elusive knowledge. It was a very complicated task at the beginning. I had to measure the value of design. I didn't know how to do it, but in the end, I really calculated the value of design. It will probably come as no surprise that design value is not a single number. Every time the value of design is different. In every company, the value of design is different. I have prepared a presentation and let me start from the beginning. First, what is design? How do I understand the term design? Can we measure design? I want to clarify the concept of design, or rather, how I understand the concept of design. When I said my definition in front of the head of the industrial design studio, I thought he was offended. He said, "You can't say the definition of design in one sentence." Can't? Really? We really can't measure everything, but we can measure something. We can also measure customer experience. Customer experience is a key part of the design value measurement process. Second, how did I build a system dynamics model for the company? Very, very briefly. My model of the system dynamics is certainly not perfect. Any of you would find plenty of flaws in it, but I present it to you anyway. It's not perfect, but it is tested. I have created two tests, the units consistency, of course, and the balance sheet test in double entry bookkeeping. So, my model is suitable for both design studio students and economics and accounting students. It can also be used by game design students or design thinking students or the other subjects. Third, what are customer archetypes and why have I used them? Every game has certain limitations. A game without constraints is not a game because without constraints you can't find out who won. I can't find out. My game also has important limitations. The game's constraints are the 12 archetypes of the customer. Fourth, why can a game be used as an input to a system dynamics model? Donella Meadows says we can dance with the system. I can dance with the design. I can play with the system. I have 6 identical system dynamics models. Why 6? I use Vensim. I can't get more than 6 lines in one chart. That's another limitation. A maximum of 6 opponents can play one game. Students create scenarios for their business. The game tests their scenarios and evaluates the best ones. They don't need to understand cost effectiveness right away, but they can understand their scenario. What is the customer experience in their company? What is their potential for improvement? What strategy do they have in meeting customer requirements? How many customers have bought their fabulous product? How many customers are interested in their great design? Fifth, displaying the game results using graphs from the system dynamics model. The graphs are the result of system dynamics modeling, but students playing cards are the result of players gaming. At the end of game, I say, look at the number of colored filled in boxes. Look at their order. Go back to the cards you choose during the game. See what value your design has for the customer. If you didn't win, it doesn't matter. You will play better next time. And conclusion, mistake, 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 and maybe aha moment. So, what is design? How do I understand the term design? Design is a specific form of complex innovation that affects all areas of organizational management. By product, we mean tangible products and services. The management of the organization includes marketing tools and new business models. Marketing tools are hidden in customer relationships. New business models include the product price. Hidden in all of this is product design and distribution to the customer. Emotions are also important. For example, how much I like the product, How I feel among the others when I buy the product is also important. What group do I belong to? It is about the social customer experience. Business often invest in improving design in areas that their customers are happy with. The reason? They want to improve their business and they want to make even more money. I guide student entrepreneurs to invest in design where they have a poor customer experience, because in the system you can improve a poor customer experience and thus you can improve the company's economic performance. Design definition, just now. The problem is complex. That's why we need to start with a definition of design. Design means focusing on the integration of satisfying the functional, emotional, and social needs and wants of the user. The Barcelona Design Center definition of design is fundamental in finding a causal link between design value and user experience. We can then develop a method to determine a company's design value. Here you have a graphical definition of design. According to the Barcelona Design Center, I have added the aspect of distribution to the customer to the three aspects of design. So, design means focusing on the integration of satisfying the function, distribution, emotion, and social needs of the customers. It's only one sentence. No empirical evidence exists that creating economic value through design change is linear. I cited a study published by the Barcelona Design Center in 2014. Thus, the creation of economic value is non-linear. Economic value creation is, therefore, dynamics. Helping business systematically evaluate the benefits of spending on developing different aspects of the customer experience is essential to increase return on investment and improve business performance. We are interested in the sustainability of the business. We are interested in how long customers will be interested in buying the product before I saturate the market. We present opportunities to improve product design based on game results. This allows the management of any company to objectively identify weaknesses and choose a strategy to design a better product that will increase profits. So, how I build a system dynamics model? Very briefly, I start from a well-known tool here. The framework for the system dynamics model was provided by the business model canvas by Osterwalder and Pinel. It is a very well-known concept. The left side, I hope that it is the left side, represents the activities of the firm and the resulting costs. The right side is the customer segment and the resulting revenue from product orders. In the middle is the value proposition that links the two parts of the business model. The value proposition is expressed in terms of cumulative profit. And feedback loops. Feedback loops are only hinted at in the business model, very briefly indeed. The value of design influences customer interest and order numbers. Customer experience also enters the model in the customers section as an exogenous factor. We will determine its value according to the player's strategy. And the calculation of customer experience is based on the knowledge of the company's managers who know the customers' expectations of their products and on the knowledge of competitors. Proportional dimensionless indicator for a dynamic business model is customer action divided by customer wishes. Yeah, it's very easy, surprisingly. The lower the comparison with competitors and the higher the customer expectation, the lower the customer experience, and vice versa. For example, customer wishes are measured at 7 points. Customer actions are measured at 4 points. Why customer action? If a customer does not buy products from my company, they buy them from my competitors for another company. That is, if customer expectations are high, but my business is not meeting them, and customers are going to competitors, my customer experience is low. The entrepreneur must look for ways to increase customer experience. So now, increasing business value is driven by growing customer experience, where customer experience is weakest. Leverage, according to Sench, a small investment in customer experience will bring a large financial effect to the company. Knowing where the most effective leverage point is therefore essential. Increasing business value is driven by enhancing customer experience, where customer experience is the weakest. Leverage, a small investment in customer experience, will have a large financial impact on the business. And there is one example, very short, very briefly. For the previous example is 43%, of course. Here I only show an overview of the system dynamics model in the business model canvas. There are 9 fields in the original business model canvas framework. For the system dynamics model, I use only 7 fields. I have merged key activities and key resources, and I have merged customer relations and distribution channels. Still, the business model is quite complex. And now, the core of the value proposition is the profit of the company. In this case, it is cumulative. And in business, we need 2 key partners in my model, a bank, and an investor. Both sources have a direct impact on cash flow, of course. The key resources and key activities consist of labor and materials in stock. Labor productivity is also important, of course. And now customer relations and distribution channels are related to labor productivity. Customer who buy enter orders. They can be influenced by advertising, design, and repeat consumption. The main criterion for customers ordering is customer experience, CX. And now, the construction of the customer segment was inspired by the bus diffusion model with repeat orders to be as close as possible to the algorithms commonly used in system dynamics models. This model differs from the published model in that it shows two flows from potential customers to customer base, which is the base for ordering the product. One flow is influenced by advertising, and the other flow is influenced by design. Of course, because it is about design. I used account receivable in the income statement so that I could prepare not only a profit and loss statement, but also a balanced economic balance sheet for the company. It is the same in the costs. I used the firm's liabilities as a level. So it was my model very briefly. And now, what are customer archetypes and why do I need them for the next step? It's quite interesting and creative part of my game. I need some limitations to start playing. This description is a quote from Ginger Sauce edition. This agency follows the book by the hero and outlaw, building extraordinary brands through the power of archetypes by Mark and Carol Pearson. A brand archetype is the character of your brand, a living representation that is created with all nuances of your target audience and brand concept in mind. What happens after I discover my brand archetype? You can use this now. You will know how people will see and understand your brand. You will know how the brand would sound, look, and behave in a certain situation. So it was citation, and now, here are the archetypes according to Ginger Source. It means beautiful, very beautiful pictograms and text. I have my own text for the archetypes, and pictures were drawn by artificial intelligence because I have no graphic designer. Sorry. But the developed solution consists of a board game and system dynamics model. In the game, the player, entrepreneur, must first get to know his customer. He chooses from 12 customer archetypes according to Mark and Pearson, 2012. Yeah, this is. And now, the description of archetypes is designed to suggest each customer's strategy. The outlaw's priorities and the hero's priorities can be found by key words in the text. Okay? And now, next part. Why can a game be used as an input to system dynamics model? What are the benefits of play for students of system dynamics or for the other students? Okay. In order to build the game correctly, find the game mechanism and make the game fun, I had to take a course in board game design. Then I used the tools of design thinking through the design process. Without system thinking and system dynamics modeling, I wouldn't have figured out how to measure the value of design. Double entry bookkeeping helped in checking the accuracy of the model. So, my problem of the game: find the weakest point in the product design and business of the company. So, okay. Find the Achilles heel of design management. That's what I call the game. The game's name indicates the problem I am solving in the system dynamics model. on the slide is the first part of product sheet for the game. And now, here is the second part of the product sheet for the game. Imagine you are the owner of a company that makes the best product in the world. But nobody knows about it because you don't understand your customers. Your customers don't know about your products, so they don't buy them. What would you do? Would you give up your dream or try to find a better business model? If you are for the latter, then the Find Your Achilles Heel of Design Management game is for you. It is a game that teaches you how to use design as a tool to increase sales and customer satisfaction. In this game, you become the designer of your business. Investment in what your customers want and see how it affects your business. But customers are fickle. They do what they want and can make your investment in design expensive. Find the Achilles heel of design management is an educational game that teaches you how to connect the different parts of your business model into one comprehensive system dynamics decision that will be the best in the world, just like your product. You risk nothing by playing. So, rules of the board game. Introduction. The aim of the game is to identify and strengthen your company's weaknesses. Management wants to invest in a better product design. However, management has no idea which area of design investment will have the greatest impact on the company's profitability. Therefore, they want to create several scenarios, select the best one, and start preparing the investment. The aim of the game is, therefore, to get the most out of the design change. Guide entrepreneur Sofia, owner of educational games publishing company Mind Game Ltd. And now how to play it. Game preparation. First step. Choose a customer archetype by name and picture. Choose a character that matches your customer's archetype. Choose an archetype that you like. Write the name of the archetype in the game plan. As an example, Sophia chose the archetype hero. And second step, read the description of the 4 areas of business: product, service, customer relationship, and price. Write down customer priorities in your game. Use for colors: red, blue, green, and yellow. And how to play the game. First step, divide the cards into as many decks as there are players. Each deck contains 2 different suits of cards. The green card represent what the customer does and where they go shopping. The red cards represents the customer's wishes. Second step, read the text on the green and red cards. In the first round, the green card is the first card in the deck. In the second round, the red card is the first card in the deck. Yeah. Third step, reserve cards. Players use archetype pieces to reserve cards according to the pictograms and text on the card. So now, after selecting a card, the player turns the card over and writes the result on his answer sheet. The number of points is written on the other side of card. Sophia selects the customer's actions card cards, it's green cards from the other side, that contained a yellow pictogram, it's price. Why? Price is the least important area for her customers according to her decision. So she wants to increase the potential for innovation by designing for other business areas. It is product first, it's red card, service, and service test, it's second blue color here. Okay. Scoring. Yeah, okay. Players place points on the game board according to the color of the business area. Each column on the game plan is for customer actions, A, and customer wishes, W. There are a total of 8 columns of the record sheet for recording customer actions and wishes. 4 columns are for customer actions and 4 columns are for customer wishes. Strategy and potential calculation. Identification of weaknesses. Players identify weaknesses and opportunities to improve the design of their business. Players calculate the potential for improvement in each area of business. And scoring again. Okay, players subtract the action to customer ratio from a perfect 100%. The highest potential is worth 4 points. The lowest is 1 point, row B. They divide the potential for strategy improvement by number according to the order of importance of the area. It is row C. Final score. The player multiplies the potential for design improvements. It's row A, according to the last calculated number, row C. It is the entrepreneur's strategy. The player adds the numbers from the last row of D. Conclusion: the player with the highest overall potential wins. Congratulations to the winner. Okay. Now, at the end of the game, each player determines their design management potential. However, they do not have to trust the calculated number. Therefore, is a system dynamics model that shows a company's performance in as many scenarios as there are players. For each player, there are 4 possible scenarios. Business model without design, but including customer experience. Business model of the company according to the manager's decision. Business model with optimally chosen strategy. And business model of the organization according to the worst strategic decision. Yes. And now the system dynamics model is evidence of the player's right or wrong decision. The system dynamics model shows the evolution of profitability over 3 years of the startup company. A system dynamics model is easier for players to understand than a dimensionless coefficient that they may or may not trust. Each player scenario is original. The resulting effect of investment in design is unique. Greater investment in design may not lead to greater gains, but to greater losses if the player's strategy is wrong. Okay. Now, this is a feedback loop for solving the design value problem. Low customer experience generates a loss for the business, and high potential for improvement. High customer experience generates profit and low potential for improvement. High customer experience generates profit without design and low potential for improvement by design. So now the game provides input to a dynamic system model. The dynamic system model demonstrates the effectiveness of an investment in product design. And that is very important. Yeah, the game is like a dance. It is, if it is fun, it has written, and if it is understandable. The game forces players to consider the consequences of decisions and feedback loops in business model. If the variable Cx it does not affect the dynamic variable profit, then it does not reflect reality. And now we will go to VenSim. This is the last part of my presentation. The chart shows the reference framework for all companies. It is the cumulative economic result, profit, of the 6 case studies without customer experience data and without player strategy. This is the chart's behavior without design investment, of course. All companies have the same profit generation process. You have the same 6 case studies in front of you. All companies have the same profit-making process. You have 6 identical case studies in front of you. And now, change. Yeah. The chart shows the reference framework for all companies. It is the cumulative economic result, profit, of 6 case studies with customer experience data. This is the behavior of the chart without design investment. This means that managers' decision-making strategy regarding design investment is incorporated into this system dynamics model. And the red line in the chart shows that case study B, red line, has the highest customer experience. This means that case study B has almost the lowest potential for business improvement. It is blue line. Case study A, case study B has the highest, and case study A, it is blue, has the lowest potential for business improvement by design. And now, yes, this is about transferring game data to a graph in VenSim and comparing the 4 scenarios of case study B. Blue line is scenario without design investment. Red line represents a scenario that replicates a managerial decision to invest in design. And the green line of the scenario corresponding to the optimal design investment decision, and the yellow line represents the least profitable design investment decision, and it is the opposite of the optimal decision. So now, the purpose of the comparative analysis is to compare 4 profit development scenarios within 2 companies, 2 case studies, which were generated by the system dynamics model, of course. Case study A, graph chart above, shows the greater value of design. It is a black arrow, because the initial customer experience of the product is low. Without design, the business generates stagnant profits blue curve. The value of design is the difference between the profit without design, blue curve, and the profit according to the optimal decision. It is green line or green curve. Case study B, graph below, shows a lower design value than case study A because the customer experience of its product is higher, although with a smaller effect than case study A, the investment in design by case study B is worthwhile. So we are at the end of our presentation. However, the variables that make up the calculation must have a relevant relationship. We can clean up the profit into the part that we get only from investing in design. We can allocate the costs to those we strategically invest in design and therefore improve customer experience. Thus, the resulting profitability is adjusted for the baseline customer experience, which varies from company to company. I think that the winner is case study A, a blue line in this chart. Okay. Conclusion. Presenting the playfulness of system dynamics, system thinking, and design thinking has been and will continue to be a great challenge for me. I am confident that I could create a board game to solve the next dynamics problem. This may not be an academically correct approach. It is a value proposition that gives knowledge, but through fun. I started with the words Donella Meadows. I would like to end with her words too. Let's face it, the universe is messy. It's non-linear, turbulent, and chaotic. It is dynamic. It spends its time in transient behavior on its way to somewhere else, not in mathematically neat equilibrium. It self-organizes and evolves. It creates diversity, not uniformity. That's what makes the world interesting. That's what makes it beautiful. And that's what makes it work. So thank you for your attention. I hope that limit is okay. And questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Eva. This was great. I really like to see how the game is played, and I'll take advantage. I want to know, is there any possibility of making this game with an online version where people could pay virtually only?
It is board game just now.
Just it's like a board or a card game.
But maybe I would like to try it to prepare as an online game, but I am not sure. I need some game designer, because I am not game designer. I am only
Yes.
game thinker. Okay.
That's great to know. You know, I would love to see how this could be maybe played online. You know, many like the Fish Banks, which is one of the society games that is one of the most successful system thinking games out there. It is partially played with a virtual environment where we input the data, but we also have a board game to support that game. So I see how this could be very similar to system thinking environment to play this game. But yeah, I'll let you see if there's anyone else curious to ask any questions to Eva. Feel free to do so. I'm not sure, Rick or Martin, whoever is in this call, can make your questions to Eva. Go ahead, Rick. If you have a question, feel free to speak up.
Thank you, Fernando. Dr. Shiravoka, fantastic presentation. I got so many insightful nuggets from what you were talking about. My question is really quite simple. Would you be willing to share your slide deck? I was trying to take notes and I couldn't keep up with you. There was so much great information in here. I would very much like the opportunity to go back and look at your slides in depth. And would you be open to accepting follow-on questions via email?
Yes, yes, of course. Yeah, I would be very happy when I some questions through email, because it's very difficult for me to react without without reading and thinking and prepare English answer. Okay, so email is the best chance for me, the best solution for me.
I'm gonna put Eva's email here in the chat then.
Sorry.
I'm just putting your email in the chat so Rick can have it anyone.
I hope that you have my email, because I was at a conference in Bergen, for example.
Yes, I have your email. It's in the chat already.
Yeah, okay.
So feel free
No
to
problem.
grab that.
Share it. Share my email, of course.
Well, is there anyone with any questions? Curiosities. I think people have questions when they play the game. So if there's no additional questions, I'll just like to thank you, Eva, for this insightful webinar. I think this has great potential for us to learn more. You know, I think this is a really good resource for business systems thinking. And I can't wait to see how we can expand and make our community play the game.
Thank you, Dr. Shirokova and Fernando and everyone involved. This is a very valuable presentation. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for joining, everyone. And Eva, do you have any final considerations or any wrap up?
I think no. It's a challenge for me to prepare another game, because I think that it is the way, and I would like to continue in this this way. This way is interesting for me very much. I am very creative, and yeah, it is very pleasant for me to continue with my students or with the others to prepare some new game, how to explain complex problems.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Hope to see you in the next webinar very soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.